Hello, welcome to yet another completely unprofessional unboxing. Scott here, and today's package is something that arrived rather quickly, but has been sitting on my shelf for a while because just certain things that have been coming up. By the way, tis the season. We are in the December months, and just want to say again, I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday and that the coming new year finds you in a better, brighter spot. And we'll continue with this as I do the videos this month. I'm a Christmas guy. I absolutely love this time of year, and not really for religious reasons. I am the Charlie Brown Christmas listening, jingle all the way, decorations, lights, everything. I guess the spirit of Christmas consumerism, you know. But no, I just this time of year has always been something special, and I just like to spread the joy and cheer to as many people, whether they are a humbug Grinch or a wildly excited elf like me. So, excuse me once again. It's month 2 of fighting allergies here in California, so please, bear with me through the sniffles and the occasional clearing of my throat. So, this package right here is something that I picked up after having a conversation online with some friends, and the subject of this particular thing came up, and if there was going to be a new edition of it or not. And just happened to take a look through the interwebs, and someone was offering this, I should say all of this, because it's not just one thing, for $20. It was very hard to resist, and no one else was taking it, so happened to have the $20 available to spend on it, and hopefully we'll find that that even at the severely discounted rate for this, that it was well worth the money. So without further ado, handy Coleman steak knife. I don't think I will need it. Pretty much don't need it for much, but at least it's something to help me get started. And we'll just kind of, there we go. All right, let's set this aside. Slide this out. Okay, and we'll just kind of tear that open. And at least they gave, some extra care. It's always nice. I mean, the big thing is, of course, when you're shipping products, please, 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 give it at least a double bagging like this, because the killer of a lot of these things is not necessarily the damage that may occur, through the smashing and, movement of the boxes, which will, but it's also moisture damage, depending on where these things are coming in from the States. They're sitting on runways, they're sitting in loading docks, they're sitting in a variety of places where, moisture can accumulate, especially at this time of the year, with areas that have snow and other damp aspects. So, so what do we have here? I'll just go ahead and, you've already guessed, but we'll go ahead and start down here with the primary book. So, what is this? For those of you that do not know, this here is Godlike. Godlike was created by Dennis Detweiler, whatever, of such games you may have heard of, like Delta Green, and other things. But and I don't know. This may have been. I believe this was prior to Delta Green. What it is, as stated here on the title, is a superhero role-playing game exclusively set during World War II, from 1936 to 1946, where I assume you would either play as a superhero, or, even if you weren't playing as a superhero, which I don't know why you wouldn't, you would be playing a handler of a superhero, in the same vein as, Captain America and the Howling Commandos. So, just turn it over here, and you are larger than life. But the war is larger than you. In the beginning, there was only one. He flew into the Berlin Olympics of 1936 to light the torch, then landed beside Hitler to proclaim the triumph of the Aryan will. Yee. By the end of the war, there were 200,000 of them. They came from Poland, from Finland, from England, and from France. They came from besieged villages and from the bluffs, from the halls of academia, from the devastation of Stalingrad, and from the cornfields of Kansas. Dun, dun, dun. Their powers were both great and small, and they died by the thousands for the sake of the people they loved. This is their story. Godlike is a superhero role-playing game unlike no other. No bright spandex, no pulp machismo. In the face of the world on fire, ordinary men and women emerge who possess the talents their times demand, but who are still as vulnerable and evidently as expendable as the troops in the foxholes. You can be faster than a speeding bullet as long as you don't step on a landmine. Backed by an extensive historical timeline, players take the roles of talents, that's, I guess, their version of heroes or whatever, committed to the greatest challenge of the 20th century. Possessed of powers you barely understand and struggle to control, you fight the forces of darkness, both without and within, for defeat is a state of mind, and if you lose faith in yourself, you will never become godlike. So, we'll take a quick look at it. So, open it up. I believe this is the first edition. There are 2 editions here. I mean, there's, once again, a little bit of a wear and tear on the spine, but as long as the game is usable, I'm okay with that, especially considering the price. So yeah, so Godlike. This is the first edition, I believe. There was first printing. I believe there was a second printing, or maybe a second edition that is currently still on sale. I believed at Arc Dream. Once again, I could be wrong, but. So what it is exactly what's mentioned on the back. You will be playing a superhero. Apparently not an immortal superhero, but at least those with superpowers that you are going to be helping the war effort in Europe, and quite possibly, I don't know if there's expansions into the Pacific Front, but there might be. And we're going right into the aspects of it. So I don't know much about the rules of this game. I'm sure, once I take a look at it and read into it, and I believe the rules might have changed between this and the other edition, but compatible, I think. But still, so yeah. So I mean, this is something that a bit of role-playing history. I don't know how prevalent it was when it came out, how popular it was when it came out. I myself wasn't aware of it until maybe a year or so ago. But I mean, and with the new, with other games that may associate itself with it, this draws itself away. Whereas Achtung Cthulhu, you're playing relatively ordinary people as you fight against the Nazi incursion, which is supported by the Cthulhu mythos. This is essentially you are representing a particular country, I would imagine, and I don't know if you can play on either side or whatnot, but you are a parahuman, as notated here, and along with a variety of talents and whatnot. But so definitely something. I mean, this is an interesting idea as far as it gives you a certain time frame to play within. It gives you a well-known, well-researched, and easily referenced world outside of the superhero aspects that you should be able to, play and play within, and have a good amount of time to have a campaign within. Of course, this is an alternative reality, so things may have changed somewhat. Excuse me, but so yeah. So the idea is fantastic. I mean, it presents itself as something where there is a relative in-game aspect to it. Obviously, it's set within a certain time period, so in the end of World War II. Without knowing the lore of the game itself, not sure what the end results were to be, but It's just kind of going through it. It's very detailed orientated, like a lot of the things that Detwiller and his associates, as far as in regards to games like Delta Green. There's going to be a lot of information. There's going to be a big info dump to try to flesh out the world as much as possible. So we've got historical aspects here. Different dates and times. So you've got a breakdown of the war itself and different things to focus upon, different key points as you go through here. So we'll just kind of skip over a little bit of this. So not a lot of artwork involved. There are definite photographs utilized within the game, period photographs and whatnot. Which, it helps. Would have liked to have seen more in-game aspects, more artwork that detailing with the parahumans and, some of the talents that they're in. I mean, Detwiller is a very talented and well-known artist himself, but, without knowing, what brought this game together, it's hard to say why there wasn't any original artwork, added to this book or included in this book. Looks like we have some NPC highlights. And so it looks like you pretty much have, as we're going through there, you see that this notates different days and months throughout World War II. So you pretty much have I don't want to call it a railroad aspect to it, but you do have key points within the war that may be highlighted differently because of the the superhero aspect of the game. But different areas to at least flesh out a period that you may want to play in if you're playing Godlike. And as we continue on, there's maybe some sort of original artwork there. But as we continue on, so through here, a lot of information is provided. So this is definitely not going to be an easy read, at least for someone such as myself. But just kind of flipping through it, it's interesting, the historical aspects and what they decided to do with the superhero situation in World War II will definitely be an enjoyable read. Just may not be a quick read. So here we got more gaming aspects, different weapons and whatnot, different tanks and armor, specialized weapons, weaponry of the UK. So they're broken down between different countries. And then we have, wow. Okay, so this part, almost 300 pages, just under, maybe 250, all lore, all history of, the world of Godlike in World War II, which tends to be standard, I want to say. I mean, if you've ever, read the books, the handler, not the Handler's Guide, but the books, the core books with Delta Green and whatnot, know that there's a lot of lore involved, and as opposed to actual game mechanics. And this one seems to be even more so as far as the general aspects of the game and then how to play the game. And let's see here. We've got some examples to set up your campaign. And then we've got I don't know if this is an adventure or this is just more information. Looks like it might be a little adventure, who knows. And then we have some optional rules here. Squishy rolls or gritty rolls. Okay. Excuse me. So yeah, this is definitely a, wow. That's quite a bit of additional rules. So here we go, bibliography, and I would imagine a very, very large index along with the character sheet in the back. So that was the core rulebook. Now, some other things that he provided was a couple of either companion pieces or adventures. Let's see, a complete mission and optional rules for Godlike by Shane Ivey and Dennis Detwiller. And so we'll just kind of do a quick flip through of that. So there's some handout aspects, some maps and whatnot. So further fleshing out the campaign that you would be playing in. Very nice. So this, I mean, these things I consider to be just, extras, frosting on top of the cupcake or the cherry on top of the sundae. So that was called Godlike Donar's Hammer. Combat Orders from Sicily, #1, Sicily, 1943. Okay, the other thing that we have here is a Talent and Operations Command Intelligence Bulletin, #2, Talent Operations Group. So I'm not sure. We'll just kind of look at this. Let's see here. Introduction. So this may read as, is this an adventure or is this just a companion piece? It looks like it might be, yeah, kind of a companion piece, almost like maybe a player's guide. It looks like, like this would be your mission order, so to speak. But definitely would be something that I would find out as we page through it. So yeah, it looks like it might be personnel sheet. So yeah, it looks like it's additional rules or some sort of way to further flesh out a specific aspect of Godlike within World War II. And then finally we have here Godlike, Will to Power, by Dennis Detwiller. I'm gonna mispronounce his name every time. Pronounce it differently every time. So, and what is this? Let's see here. Welcome to the world of Godlike. Let's see here. Detailed information. So let's see. Oh, it's information in the back. Okay. Will to Power. Let's see here. This book contains a comprehensive examination of the RUSHA-SA program from its inception to its destruction, including the secrets behind the manifestation of the world's first parahuman, Konrad Ron der Flieger, a detailed breakdown of the, I'm just going to call it the Rusha Sa, I mean, if it's called that, fine, facilities, personnel, and programs, an overview of the organization of the Waffen-SS, insights into the Nazi super spy program Wasserfall, an examination of the use of German superhumans in combat battle by battle, a breakdown of what Allied intelligence knows about the Nazi parahuman program, game stats and dossiers for 18 of the Germans' most famous Übermensch, a look at the equipment, weapons, and tactics of the Waffen-SS, new rules, powers, flaws, and extras useful in any Godlike campaign. So this seems to be a supplement for the Nazi aspect of the campaign. So this would be stuff that you, as a Allied superhero, this is stuff to flesh out your enemies, to kind of give them a little bit more personalization within there, and so you can better define different aspects of the game as you're fighting through World War II. I would imagine that would be my guess. So there we are. So this I consider to be a an excellent deal. $20. All of this provide a very serviceable and detailed World War II superhero campaign, regardless of whether it's the first printing or second printing or first edition or second edition. That will allow you to have a game set within World War II without it involving tentacles and colors from space, and nothing wrong with that. I enjoyed it as much as the next person, but a different flair, a different aspect, rather than your standard World War II military campaign or some other twist on it. This twist being the superheroes existing for each country they're in. So there we go. So this was Godlike and associated extras therein. And I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video. Look for more this December, as it's the time of the year where certain things may be fulfilled, such as Kickstarters. There may be a couple gifts coming in from friends and family. But also I'm going to be doing some extra videos here, focusing on things that I'm going to pull from my shelf that I feel deserve a little bit of extra attention. So look for those, and also please give a like, please share it, please subscribe if you feel so inclined. It'd be nice. No big deal if you don't. So like I said, hope you enjoy this, and look for me and Keith from Rolling Boxcars as we do some more episodes of Titterpigs, our podcast on tabletop role-playing games, coming soon. We're going to be doing our standard episode along with maybe a couple couple special, tis the season episodes, so to speak. So this has been yet another completely unprofessional unboxing. My name is Scott, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you all real soon. Take care.